Instagram Live, what up? I haven't been live on Instagram or Facebook in a while. Why haven't I done live? Any reason? Guess I'm like working and shit. I'm raising a family. I don't really know. I'm going here. Figured I'd jump on. It's been a minute. Do a little bit of Q&A or something. Chop it up with you guys for my next call. Anybody want to come on and just talk shop? What's up, y'all? What up? Hello. What's up? And first of all, let me just say this. This isn't even about this, but if you owe me money from the election bet, give me my motherfucking money. I will put your ass on blast, but that's a different story. We can wait till it's certified or whatever the fuck. All right, let's bring some people in. Matthew Glaciers. What up, y'all? What up? What's up, man?
Shit. I pressed request. I was like, yeah, let me see if it works. And it worked.
What's up? You made it, bro. What's up, man?
What's going on, dude? I've been following you for quite a while. Some time. This is awesome.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, so happy retirement, man. That's awesome.
Thanks. I mean, I'll still be working and doing shit, you know? Like, it's just, yeah. I retired from, like, a certain aspect, you know?
Yes. So I guess my question to you would be, I mean, where I am right now, I've been in the agency space. I'm 19, and my number one bottleneck has been.
By the way, 19 years old, doing your thing, man. Shout out to you. At 19, you know what I was doing? I was getting. I was skipping school consistently. Like I wear my basketball shorts and a t-shirt to school every single day. I would go just enough to find out if I had to actually go to the class to get a good grade. You know, like some people required attendance and shit. Yeah. And then I played Madden. So I say all that to say you're 15 times better than me. Like I was a piece of shit. So you're doing great.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Mm-hmm. But you know, my number one like bottleneck has been like I'll get clients, right? And then like either the campaign underperforms, they break even, they make a little bit of profit. So like I just want to become a better marketer. Like I just want to I just want my service to be better. I got the $50 offer that you did recently, the everything offer. But you know, I've done a ton of courses. Like I just want to get better, and I feel like I'm not sure like what that next step is, and just becoming like that badass marketer. You know what I'm saying? Let me ask you this.
So let's say I'm a customer. How much would you charge me?
I've fluctuated. I've went from free. I've charged 200, 400. I've charged 500, 800.
Okay, now let's go there.
Fluctuated.
Now let's say I give you $400. What would I get in exchange?
The service or what you would make back?
Just tell me. Just explain to me. Like, not the service. I'm giving you money. Hey, here's $300. What am I getting in exchange?
So you're getting Facebook ads, management and creation, consulting on creating the creative. I typically try to get them to create a video, and also a funnel. So I'll create the funnel as well.
What are Facebook ads? What's a funnel?
What are Facebook ads? Facebook ads are.
See, like I'm asking you because this is a big part in the agency world, and why marketers struggle is because they try and sell marketing. Like trying to define marketing. Everybody in the chat right now listening, define marketing. Some people define marketing as, and Facebook, even ads, and that's more of a specific term, but still broad, as some people think marketing is PR. Some people think marketing is advertising. Some people think marketing is Facebook. Some people think it is blogging. Some people think it is SEO. Everybody's all over the place. Facebook ads, like, what does that mean? Are we talking retargeting? Are we talking about just posting things on someone's fan page? Are we talking about video creation? Are we talking about video ads? Are we talking about web services? It's so broad that it's hard to sell. And also it's hard to consistently deliver results because there's so many variables. What a Facebook ad could be for my business can be completely different than the chiropractor or real estate agent, the astronaut, like whatever the fuck it is. And so you have to get clear and be able to tell me in one sentence, what's the service that you sell? What's the product, right? Like your goal right now is to make money, right?
Yep.
You realize you can make money right now by just going to get testimonials for people. Like you realize there's a lot of business owners out there. I bet you majority of them are not asking their customers for video testimonials. If you said, hey, I'm the guy that goes to your previous customers and I will just get you video testimonials so you can share those on Google, etc. That's my service. You can make $1 million just selling that.
Mm.
And see how simple it is? And
Yeah.
The whole idea with the product is you need to be able to make a decision in a sentence if you're going to buy it. Like the second you say it, I need to know if I want it or not.
Mm.
Period. It's the whole game of scale and repeatability. So what I want you to obsess about is what's the one microservice that you can sell again and 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 again. Remove all the variables and all the other stuff. Feel me? Like even on the agency side, people don't realize, like when I was doing a lot of agency work, I wasn't, when we were scaling, crazy. I dominated the health and wellness industry. So I had like 300 of the Orange Theory Fitnesses, like, 30 of the Massage Envies or 26 of the ones in San Diego, the entire co-op. But all of the campaigns were almost identical. So when it came to delivering results, I knew I can guarantee results because I did it so many fucking times. Now, it's just different for every industry. So your goal as the business owner is to eliminate variables. Variables take time. Variables require multiple different types of people, and that's where all your expenses lie. So the best thing that you can do for yourself, especially at a young age, is I want you to simplify the fuck out of everything that you're doing in one sentence. And everybody need to be able to make a decision. Do I want to work with it? Do I want to buy it? Yes or no? And if they can't, you got to switch it up.
Okay.
And then the second component I'll leave you with is this.
One hand.
The second component is this: is once you identify that thing, say no to everything else. Because what's going to happen is you're going to get a client that's like, oh, yo, you got me these video testimonials. I appreciate it. Can you also do this? And you tell them, suck your balls. No. That's what you say. Suck it. No, I'm not. You tell them no. You say no. Because it's going to derail you and bring in those variables again that you need to eliminate and stay disciplined against. Got it?
Got it.
Appreciate you, man.
One last thing before we go.
What you got?
There was like a week or two, no, maybe a little longer than that. You posted, you were like, yo, who wants to run it up in Madden? I'm challenging you.
Man, bro. Look, see, now you're getting, I'm going to embarrass you in front of everybody. Like, I'll play you on my big screen right here, right? This is where I play, man. You got to understand that, first of all. So you coming into a real one's game. Watch. I'll go downstairs. So just imagine, like, one, I'll go live, right? I click a button, a couple hundred people. I'll go live and I'll put you on blast. And then I'm going to record it, right? And then I'm going to send it to all of your friends. And then I'm going to spend $10,000 running ads to our game of Madden so your friends know I whooped that ass. That's how I feel. And then I'm going to have Paul produce it. I'm going to have Paul right over there. He's going to add sound, music, all kinds of shit. That's what he's going to do. And then after that, I'm going to have a viewing party for all my followers. And then I'm going to sell the recording of we whooping that ass in Madden live on the fucking big screen. All right? So you don't want those problems, young man.
None of that could happen if you lose, though. That's the thing. That's the problem.
Oh, bro, I'll have Paul edit it. You think I'm going to lose? I'm going to pull a Trump. I'm going to just make some shit up. If I lose, are you kidding me? It was fraud. Yeah, if I lose, that shit was fraud for sure. For sure. I appreciate you, man. I'm going to bring somebody else on.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Shout out to the young man, 19 years old, getting it. Who wants to chop it up? Request a chat. Let's bring some people in. Don't you ever challenge me in Madden again. You don't want those problems, Matthew and Glaciers. All right, bring in the chat. Okay, there it is. It popped up. All right, let me bring in my peoples here. Business Bros Podcast. Okay. Did it work?
Yo, what up?
What up?
What's up?
What's cracking?
All right, dude. So I've been podcasting for, I don't know, about 3 years now. We broke like 600 episodes, consistency like a mug. But then I listened to your podcast, and your podcast is straight fire, dude. Like,
oh, thank you.
I've been I also teach high school in the morning. I teach a course called Financial Algebra, trying to teach younger 17-year-old kids how to, get into life.
By the way, that's dope. That's dope. Shout out to you.
Thank you. But it's hard, man. Like, how do I recommend Billie Jean's podcast?
Hey, here's the thing. You don't, because my podcast is a personal development podcast that's masked in an episode of South Park, right? Like I create my podcast to reach the audience who will never resonate with that of, like, you know, my friends Tony and Dean. Like, they're not going to resonate with them, but yet they still need to hear the message, right? So I throw in dick jokes and obnoxious jokes and things like that, so I can reach a type of audience that, honestly, I would challenge that anybody in the personal development world will not reach with the way that they communicate, articulate themselves, show up. So it is extremely intentional, you know, and sometimes I even go overboard, right? Like, sometimes I make my analogies even more ridiculous so that they can get shared and played and they can be cool, so to speak, right? So it's definitely one of those things I've accepted. It's like, it's not for everyone. You know, I thought about doing a different podcast that was maybe a little bit more PG for other people. But
it
nah,
wouldn't be you, dude. It wouldn't be you.
I mean, it'd be part of me, right? Like, there's sometimes, like, if people meet me in person, like, I'm a pretty calm person, and, like, on the quieter side, actually. I don't think that's the thing for them in particular. However, I was watching badass cartoons when I was a kid, because I used to sneak and do those things. So, you know, I think maybe it's just one of those things that they just had to listen to low key. But I mean, fuck it, how old are they?
They're 17, dude. Trust me, they've been seeing shit on the internet that is way worse than what you're
17 and 13, they were doing all kinds of crazy shit. People were fucking when they were 13. Are you kidding me? Everybody in the chat right now, type in when you lost your virginity.
Yeah, well,
everybody.
Okay. So let me ask you this. So
what about my language? What else is there? Everyone, type in the chat when you lost your virginity. Don't lie either. People out here fronting.
25.
I mean, 25. That's respectable, because you know you're lying. Right. But yeah.
Let me ask you this. So I bought your $49 package as well. I want to use it to teach my kids. So in my class, their project for this year is they created logos or whatever design stuff, and they're going to sell.
Hey, first of all, I'm looking at these numbers and like, hold up, shit, is it 12 and 13? Whoa. Hey.
Now you got to ask the other side. 9.
Gosh damn. I want to point out a theme. When the ladies are typing, they're like 38, 25, like way later, and the guys are like 11. What's up? Like, it's typical. But anyways, go ahead.
Hair on nothing. 11 years old. It wasn't working like that. Anyways. So I wanted to ask you, what advice would you give? I mean, I'm going to show some parts of your core stuff, of your material to my students to try to get them. My goal is to get them to get a taste of some sort of entrepreneurship before they graduate high school. Because the kids in my class, they're the ones that you were describing, the basketball shorts, and they go in just to barely make the grade. But I want them to know that there's another world out there, that just because you didn't do good in school, just because that system failed you, doesn't mean that you don't have a road to success.
100.
You know what I mean? So like, of all the different types of products that you have out there, which one should I focus in on to teach these kids what they need to know? Because you got so much good shit, dude.
30 days of genius. Real
30
talk.
days of genius.
Yeah, so I did it this year. I created in like March when everything happened, and I created a program basically like if I lost it all, I had zero money. I had zero resources, zero credibility, start from the beginning. Exactly what I would do, 30-day blueprint, and it's like 3 to 5 minutes, like videos. Send that shit to the matter of fact, if you email us at info@BillieJean and just send a screenshot of this conversation, be like, I was live with Billy. But we'll send one. We'll send it to all the people in your class too. So if they want to take it, we can send it to them so they can get the whole onboarding sequence and things like that. So we'll shout out to your school and everything. So we'll send it to them.
By the way, I'm here in San Diego. I teach at East Lake High, dude.
Oh yeah, East Lake. Okay, yeah. Then shout out to them. Yeah, we'll do it, no doubt. Honestly, the thing about reaching kids, and this has actually been something I've been thinking about a lot lately, is like, remember when we're in high school, right? Like, it really is just about being fucking cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, that's when, the Lambo and all the other little toys and shit, it allows you to reach those people. Now, older people see, they get mad. They're like, why are you showing a Lambo, et cetera? Because it's not all for them. You know what I mean? Like, the younger generation, like, I'm like, look, you can be a ball player, you can be a musician, you could be a comedian, et cetera, or you could be a fucking marketer, right? And use your powers for good and help other people, and it can still be cool, and you can have dope shit and things like that. So yes, man, whatever your students need, I'll send them all my shit. Done.
Dude, love it, man. Love it, love it, love it.
Appreciate you, homie.
Hey, man, keep one more question on a personal level.
Yeah.
What do you charge for somebody here in San Diego? If I wanted to take my business to the next level, and I was, by the way, your podcast you recommended, Mentor to Millions,
Yeah.
freaking phenomenal book. I'm already second time
Love
through
that.
it. I mean, great book. So I got to reach out and ask. Billy's crushing it. How do I get into Billy's stuff? What's the price tag to be mentored by Billy Jean?
Man, I'm not even doing it like that right now, to be honest. You know, I appreciate you even asking me that, but it's like you get limited time, right? So like I got my baby girl, she's 4, and like I spend, you know, all my time with her, you know, and then I got my girl. So, you know, between those two, and then, you know, running the company and traveling and shit, for all the speaking, you know, it's just tough. And my last thing is like, let's say I took you up on an offer like that, and then I wouldn't actually be able to show up how I would want to show up. Like, to me, that's not worth it. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know, in the future, there may be something. But for right now, I got my Tuesday calls, and that's really it, man.
Well, cool. I mean, like I said, you got a lot of stuff. Everything you have is straight fire. So thank you for putting it out there. And your
Appreciate
body's looking dope. Like, I mean, I don't know that man or nothing, but dude, looking from some before and after pictures, holy shit, dude.
Thanks,
you're
man.
Coming out like COVID hot. That's what I'm saying.
I appreciate you, man. I was like, this year, it was just one goal, like get my ass in shape, and that's been the focus. So I appreciate that.
Cool, brother. Thank you.
All right, homie. We'll catch you on the next one. All right, let's do one more. If anybody want to chop it up, do some questions and stuff. Let's hop in on it. What's up, everybody in the chat? I see you. Hello. I appreciate the love. Hit the little request chat thing. I lost it. It like scrolled up on me, so you gotta put it back so I can find it. There we go. Oh no, that's not it. Do a little Q&A. By the way, if you guys haven't seen it yet, some of you guys are on our live Tuesdays calls and stuff, but while I wait for that to populate, this is my new favorite addition to the studio. This right here. So actually, let me show you guys this. This is kind of cool. So this wall you're looking at, we just had this one installed probably about a month ago here. And what you see in here, the LED in here, this shit was up here. So we took it off of the wall, put it into the ground, and then had this big thing there. And then when I'm teaching and I'm going live, these are all my monitors. So I can see, you know, the Zoom gallery of all the people. I can see my slides, my presentation, and then our live studio. And we went all out on our live studio. Yeah, we recliners and shit for people that come in. COVID fucked up this whole thing. Well, I'll give you guys an office tour in a second. Look who made a request. Spring and Renee. Renee's videos make me laugh. What's
Billy!
up?
Hello! Look, I was not ready. Let me take my hair out. I'm not
What's
video
up?
ready.
How are you?
I'm so good. I love you.
I love you too. Thank you.
I really wanted to say thank you so much for bringing entertainment into education, because sometimes it's hard to learn when people are just speaking at you, and the way you educate through your personality and your heart has just moved mountains for me. Like, I'm
That means a
so...
lot. That means a lot to hear, because honestly, like, as a company, we obsess about that. Like, actually, I'll show you guys real quick. Like, that whole entertain, educate, execute is our biggest, one of our biggest values. Let me show you guys something. And my bad, y'all, the studio's a little messy right now. Got so much shit in here. Hold on. Oh, hold on. I'll show you guys this too. Our secret bookshelf. So for those who don't know, I'm going, wow. Say hi to Paul and Coda.
Oh my God, I love it.
Make it happen. Right there. Entertain, educate, execute equals empowerment. And then we have our core values. So, yeah. You saying that resonates, because that's like what we strive.
It really resonates. And the reason why I jumped on a live, well, I've been following you for ages, done all your courses. It's just really encouraged me to put my personality back into my brand.
Yeah.
Because
And you have a great personality. I see your videos and shit. It always make me smile.
oh, that's what I want to do. But my videos before that were a little bit like, because the topics I'm talking about is, you know, anxiety and resilience and people that are really struggling. So trying to bring some humor and personality to those darker topics can sometimes be a challenge for me. And that's why I did your course, because I wanted to learn. I guess they're hard things. I've personally found those topics hard to commercialize. So that's what I'm trying to learn from you.
Well, I think that's what comedians do best, right? Like when you look at a Dave Chappelle, biggest comedian in the world, and he takes the darkest, most taboo subjects. But I've learned that if you can make someone laugh, then you can say anything. Nothing's off limits if they smile, right? So then the focus becomes more about, I need to make sure that this joke lands.
Yeah, you're right.
If this joke lands, I'm good. I need to make sure this joke lands. And so I think that's the beautiful thing. And also, too, it's like people with stress, anxiety, depression, something like that is not the greatest remedy, laughter. And so I think it just goes back and rolls up into your duties and your responsibility of what you do is to, you know, give someone permission to laugh, you know. And I think it's easy to hear and listen to people, too, when you're smiling and you're not so tense. So I love what you're doing. I think it's needed. So I think you're needed.
Before you ran this live this morning, just before you jumped on, and I'm all for looking for signs, I'm all about that. I got sent a meme that said, this morning, God is going to put you in the hands of someone that's going to help you.
Oh, ha, ha, and here we are. Yes.
I'm going to send it to you.
I love it. Please do. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you for rocking with us. You're the best. You made my day.
You too.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Top that, y'all. Renee brought some energy. Now I feel like $1 million. She made me feel all great and stuff. So, all right, let's bring someone else on here. Let's bring them up. Bring them up. Let's go. We got God's light here. Hold on. Oh, is it? There we go. Grow with Ferris or Forrest. Let's see what you got.
Hey.
What up? What up?
How's it going? Thanks for having me on. I just wanted to say that, you take your content and bottleneck it for people agency who are really trying to build themselves something that is really accurate and how you build the education with it. And because of that, I've been all consuming content, and so I just wanted to ask you, I'm sure you've seen as you're retiring the abundance of marketers making video funnels and putting themselves out there. So as somebody who's like, I don't want to seem inauthentic, I've got some expertise. How's a good way I can go out and kind of cut through the noise and put my ad out there for potential buyers?
Good question. And number one, thank you. I appreciate the kind words. And making shit affordable was a mission that was important to me in the beginning, because, it's so funny, right? Like, I'm going to circle back to your question. But I felt like this interesting thing happened. As I started to get more W's and become a little bit more successful, there's this tier of people who are right in the middle of the road. And they go, all I want you to do is just sell high ticket, sell high ticket, sell high ticket, sell high ticket. And this is all they fucking do. They just tell you to sell fucking high ticket. And I think about when I first started, in how when I was starting from a place where my bank account was consistently overdrafted, and the idea of literally finding $12 was legit hard. And I think about how bad I needed the information, how bad I needed the insight. And at the time, there was a lot of higher ticket shit. And so I started with books, right? That's what I could afford. And I just thought, like, it fucking makes me so mad when I hear people talk shit about people going low ticket, or people say, you're selling to the least common denominator. It's so fucking gross, because the least common denominator, the majority of people, are the motherfuckers who need it.
Right.
So when people try and get, all fucking on their mighty horse and in their own ass, I'm like, how fucking selfish would you be? And how, I can never forget how I started to like ever be in that position to not want to pour all into people who are really starting from zero. Now, having said that, how do you stand out in the marketplace today? Because it is becoming more popular. Well, number one is to realize that the market is still massively open. Most people still are not advertising, do not know what a funnel means, or CTR, click-through rate, all the fancy stuff. So it's massively open, and that's most business owners too. Out of the 30 million alone in the U.S., like it's a very small percentage that are actually advertising. And then the secondly is you have to obsess with demonstrating, period. Meaning you can't talk your way into a sell, but you can show your way into a sell, meaning you can lead with proof. So one of the ways that I came up and stood up in a marketplace over the last decade is I would just record everything I did. So if I took on a client, I would record me meeting with them. I would record the results, the challenges, and then I would turn them into like little episodes. So when the other marketer was like, let me get your business, I would just send them a little 5-minute video that says, hey, watch what I can do. And it won, right? And I give it the same comparison. Like, imagine, being a personal trainer and being like, hey, I'll help you lose weight. But then imagine the personal trainer from The Biggest Loser, DeVolt, Jillian Michaels, who had the biggest nose. They're going to win because they documented the journey. The journey is important. People keep wanting to show the finish line beginning and the end, but we live in a marketplace that's skeptical. We live in a marketplace where nobody believes anything. So it's your duty, my duty, our duty to prove it to them, right? And then you're going to throw out the proof, and then some people will still be skeptical because they're in their own way. And then some people will get the light, and then you start building momentum. So I guess my thing is like capture as many wins with video as you can, and then share with the world.
I love it. I love it. That's actually really valuable, and I think that's going to be the biggest differentiator, right? Is like after you see all these funnels, and I'm sure everybody can pay for media and all that, but who's actually got people that are vouching for them and saying, hey, like, yeah, this guy helped me and changed my business. But
here's the kicker to that, though, right? Is you'll have the people who will vouch for you, but then the awkward thing that's weird about today is you need to spend the advertising dollars to get the message out about what they said. And that's the part that's uncomfortable for people because nobody wants to brag about themselves. Nobody wants to say like, hey, did you see what those other people said about me? But unfortunately, that's the world we live in. If you don't share it, then how do they know it's real? How do they know it exists? How do they know you exist? So people got to be really comfortable sharing their story and putting it out there, because if they can't go on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube and see it, then how can you get credit for it when they're making a buying decision? How can it influence them? How can it impact what they think of you, their perception? So I think that's the part that really holds people back, is being comfortable saying about this. And that's why I like advertising, because I'm in people's faces all day, but they know it's an ad. But therefore, when people come in and they buy my shit, like they still came to me, right? If someone books a call with our team, et cetera, it's like, hey, you reached out. And that always gives someone an upper hand when it comes to a sales proposition or something like that.
Absolutely. That's just a lot of value. I'm sure there's a lot of people that just love that, because I know there are a ton of new agency owners. I'm sure you've seen it in the past year. I've been following the metrics, and it's growing and crazy on Instagram. And I'm just curious, because I'm sure you have your own thoughts, but what are your thoughts on LinkedIn and kind of what LinkedIn can be in the future? What its limitations and whatnot?
I think LinkedIn is another tool. I wish I was using it more, to be honest with you. But how I feel about Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, etc., is they're all tools. And how I feel about a platform is the same way that I feel about a hammer or a screwdriver or a bulldozer. Like, it depends what the job is. Like, what's the job? Because there's a different tool for a different job. So I have no emotion towards one platform or the other. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's whatever's going to help me get the desired result, which tends to be, reach, impact, sales, etc.
Awesome. Well, I want to ask, because I'm very, very curious about this. I know you got enough time, but so I'm a big follower of Tom Bilyeu, his Impact Theory, and I totally can see, the direction that maybe your show is going to be touching millions of lives and impacting people. So I'm just curious, what's next? What's your next big project that you've going on?
My next big project is Format TV, to be honest with you. And so part of me retiring was really about freeing up time. Like I'll still have my membership site, which I serve every Tuesday, and I'm there with my community. But it's to write more. So like all the ads that you guys see in videos, like I'm big into writing and directing, storytelling, and it's to the best example that I can give is not Tom, but Gordon Ramsay. I would like to Gordon Ramsay the entrepreneur space. When you think of food, he's the motherfucker that shows up. Yeah. He's the motherfucker that's got 20 shows. He's the motherfucker with the restaurants in Vegas. Right. To me, there's no one in my space who I'm chasing. I see Gordon. I'm like, he didn't lay the blueprint. He didn't lay the blueprint. I'm about to follow right behind and put it on, so. And when I look now, Gordon's probably what, 50 or 60. And, I'm 32. Okay, let me put my head down and start marching according to there, and that's where that's what I'm excited for.
That's awesome, man. Well, thanks for answering my questions. I really appreciate it. I'll give some opportunity for some other people, and I'll keep following you, man. And hopefully one day we'll connect, and then I'll be watching your content. I hope you have a good day.
Absolutely, I appreciate you, dude. Thank you. All right, y'all. I'll do one more time. I'm gonna celebrate it. Oh yeah. So it says, what exactly does it mean that you're retiring? Just time mostly from all the front end content. I've done like a lot of writing and videos and courses, and also too, like I'm finishing up some last speaking gigs that I committed to, but even stepping back from that a lot. And again, just focus, it's really about focus for me, and it's just been a lot, so I'm going to try a different road here. All right. Bringing in Drew.
Yo, Billy, what's up, man?
What up?
Not much, man. Cool, man. I just want to keep this quick because I know you've been on there for a bit. I'm actually an agency owner, helping out folks in the general contracting space. Just want to know your take on the best prospecting, ways of prospecting. Is it through ads, through LinkedIn, personal messages, and how would you approach someone if it's going to be like a cold email or something like that?
I'll show you. Okay. Here's the thing. So prospecting in the beginning is hustle, right? One-on-one while you're getting your bearings and foundation and practicing your craft. But I'll give you a great example, actually. So see this big screen right here. Let's pretend this is a TV or video, right? Or actually, fuck it. I have a better example. Take this video here, right? We got, 130 people watching and people coming in and out, etc. So let's take this live stream. Let's say in this live stream, and then by the time it ends, it'll probably show like 300 to 500 different people off and on. But then let's say that I put $10 behind this live stream and I boost it to people. By the end of that $10, I'll probably have about 5 to 15,000 people who will see it. Now, you tell me, on your best day, how many phone calls can you make a day?
On a best day, probably like 50.
50 phone calls on your best day. How many sales demos can you give in one day?
Probably fit in about 10.
10. So think about that. With video and live stream, I can ask 15,000 people to buy by the time it takes you to ask 55. The whole game about speed, legit, is video. Learning how to sell in video is probably the most powerful. I mean, think about infomercials, right? That's all infomercials were. That shit ain't nothing but a 90-second video. But the difference is, to create those, it costs a lot of money, 6 figures productions. You got to partner with television networks, buy airspace and things of that nature. Now, I mean, shit, this is an infomercial, right? $5. We can put $5 behind it and literally take out our cell phones, and we can have something just as powerful as an infomercial. Every time I've had like in my business, it's the result of an ad, AKA a video that somebody saw. And I don't even like calling them ads. Really, it's just putting a message in front of somebody. Now, the thing that's challenging about the advertising space is usually you'll miss, right? Like when you put out your first ads, they're going to suck, right? Like they're not going to be that well, etc. But that's what you got to persevere through. Just imagine, legit, if for the next 3 months you locked your door and all you did was create an ad to attract people.
Gotcha.
One of them is going to hit, right?
Yeah.
And then here's the deal that people don't realize. Once it hits, then you spend money on that ad for like the next 6 months to a year to bring you shit. I still got ads I made like 4 years ago that my team still tests today that brings in customers.
Word. Wow. Okay.
So you look at your ads and the videos that you create as an asset the same way that these people look at real estate as an asset. They call it real estate because you put money in, and then you get more money out, right? That's what makes it an investment.
Right.
Well, if you put money into your video ad and you're getting more money out, isn't that not the same thing?
Same thing,
The
yeah.
difference? No escrow, no fucking funny money down payment. You know what I'm saying? No credit check, nothing. Just game. And that's why the most valuable asset that you can always have is right here.
Right.
The skill set, what you know. And that's why I'm obsessed with like reading and learning. Like people see my front facing content, but to put out so much output, people don't realize the input that comes into there. You know, take today, right? Shout out to my guy, Tim Sykes. I do breakfast with him. Tim Sykes is crushing it, doing, you know, multiple millions of dollars in his industry. So we learn from each other at breakfast. Oh, okay, you're doing this. I'm doing that. Excellent. Great. Then I got done shooting out with my boy, Kent. Kent, you know, had a company that was doing $1 billion, et cetera. I'm able to, okay, let me ask him questions, learn, et cetera. Start my day off, listen to some kind of interview or podcast, learn from somebody else's story. Okay, cool. My team is learning and they're learning things. And, you know, I conversate with them. Now they're putting me on game. Oh, did you know that this was updated? Da, 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 da. Oh, okay. So a lot of people want to have all this output because then when you do the output is when you get the accolades, the praise and all that shit. But if you want the good output, you got to have the dope input. And that's what I'm obsessed about.
Got you. And then another question: when you are creating these ads, and if you know you understand your industry very well, right? Are you hitting them with all the pain points in that video when you're you know what I mean, running those ads, or are you just focusing on one pain point? Because I've seen you focus on one pain point, you know, multiple different videos, or some of your ads would hit, you know, all of them at once.
That's a good question.
What's the best when you found it to be most effective?
It depends on which stage they are in the buying cycle, but honestly, like usually one is fine, and I recommend. I rather you bring up one pain and then bring up 3 examples how it's affecting their life. You know what I mean? Like instead of like trying to say like, hey, like, do you want to lose weight? And then talking about how it's going to affect like the relationship with your kids. It's going to affect your energy levels. Like everybody tries to say everything in one instead of painting the picture. Like, watch how deep we can go with just like, let's talk about like fitness, right? Let's talk about how deep we can go with one pain point, which is just walking upstairs. Okay. Imagine writing it and just like, hey, can I ask you an honest question? When you walk upstairs, are you out of breath? How does that make you feel? If people were around and they heard you, how would that make you feel? What sound would you be making? Like, notice how we start writing and we can go really deep here, right? Yeah. How fast is your heart beating, right? Is it uncomfortable to even read this? Does this feel a little bit too real? Why does it matter so much? Why do you care what other people think? What does it say about you? If you just saw yourself walk up the stairs and then being out of breath like that, what would you think about that? What would you think about yourself? What would you label that person? What would you call that person? Yeah. Look what that just did. See, it allowed us to go layers deeper, to get emotional, and that's what people buy. People think there's such thing as a logical buyer. No, there's not. No, there's not.
All emotional.
It's all emotional. Yeah. But see, when we try and put in a bunch of bullets, right? Like we don't really get to go to the depth, you know? And then when you realize how deep you can go in one point, now you're like, fuck, my whole company should be called Walk Upstairs. Like, you know what I mean? Walk upstairs with energy, you know, and it's a whole world. So I think that's the thing. But I appreciate you, brother, and I appreciate you reaching out and everybody listening. Again, you know, in my bio, link in my bio right now, legit, every course I've ever created, uploaded to there. There's nothing. I have my Tuesday calls that I do on stage right here. That's it. Like, there's an option for those if you want to join us. I highly recommend it. But like, everybody, like, get the fucking shit. I'm literally basically giving it away. Like, there's no reason why everybody shouldn't pick it up. If you're an entrepreneur and if you're listening to me on live stream right here, even if you're not an entrepreneur, you're looking to go down the path or thinking about something like that. So, but anyways, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for reaching out, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah. Everybody watching, I just want to say I love you guys. Thank you for rocking with us. And it's been fun. Actually, should I go live more? Let me know in the chat. Should I go live more? It's been a minute. I feel like I haven't been live in a minute. You know? I'm always like on, because remember on Tuesdays and shit, I'm always live, right? Like I'm fucking live all the time. So sometimes I just forget, like, just walk and talk and like, you know, someone says it's still 49. So what we're using is called a deadline funnel. Meaning when you go to the page, it's $49 when you go there. If you don't buy within 60 minutes, the price increases and it increases and it increases. So don't be out there dragging your feet because it just gets more expensive. Go do it. So, all right. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Wow. Look, I'm seeing myself in double time. This is crazy. Hey. There's a lot of Billies going on there. Anyways, appreciate y'all. Have a great day. Seize the day. You can do anything. I love the fuck out of you. All right. Thanks, y'all. And Matt, you don't want these problems in Madden. Boy, don't you